Johan actually warned me on this one, didn't warn me, but pointed it out this morning. And he's like, well, that's almost a retest. And I'm like, well, no, that's not a retest, so I'm not taking it. Well, what I did not see here, this is just a complete error on my part, right? So I drew the zone to this. This is what happens when I'm in the webinars, right? I draw the zone, then I head over. So you had this. This was 183 threshold. Zone's fine. I was waiting for a retest of that zone. Didn't happen. Well, what I did not see right after that, because it didn't alert me, because it has to hit the threshold to alert of 150, this was the same house 2 minutes later, 1 minute later. You need to, even though this isn't threshold, you need to combine that. So look at the difference here. So I just drew the one. It doesn't come back to that zone. Well, that wasn't the zone. You got to add, you want to be adding, especially if it's the same house. You can see the yellow line here. This is the same house. Put that in. Now watch what happens when I put that ice in. This is just disturbing. This is what you guys should be learning from my mistakes. Incorporate that ice, that second batch there. You see it on the line. Move it up a little further. Now look what it did. This is so sickening, disturbing. There's your ATR. That ATR was like 12 at the time. That one did come back. That was when if I entered that second one in, that came back to the zone. Retest, failure. This is a look at this trade. I mean, what am I doing? Look at this. That makes me sad. Right? I don't think these were thresholds. This was. So what you would have done here, let's see if maybe I'm not going to be fully sad. So what I would have done if I was, well, I didn't even see this. This is on the webinar too. I don't know what I was doing. So I would have been long. Then what do? Once you go long, what do? ATR retest failure, I go long. Then I start to look at my areas that I get out. The only thing that will get me out of this trade as far as a stop out it below the original zone. How close? That's a little subjective. I mean, definitely within a minute. Right, and especially if it's the same house, because you don't know if they're going to keep coming in or what. But I mean, this was 130, and this, it's within 1 minute. I definitely should have put that in, and I even went here and I eyeballed it after you actually said that's close enough to a retest. This was the retest, and I didn't have that other zone drawn. You don't want to be adding in like 20s and 30s, and I mean, this was almost threshold by itself, and it was the same house in the same area. A minute later, put it in. So anyway, if I'm long that, then I'm holding it, and then I see my stops below the zone, according to the spreadsheet, right? And then tortures, just like I told you guys, if you take this trade, you're ready for the torture treatment. And then this, over here. Then I would have drawn this zone. So I'm praying I would have been stepped out, but probably not. So then you had, it's not it. Where did I just do it? Right here, 203. So that I would draw this, and I would come down because you see it's still coming in, right? It finally flatlined. Let's see here. Actually, that's it. Well, down to there. Once it starts flatlining, it's done. So that's the zone. You don't have to include those prices. So I would have done this. Just do it like it's official, like we're doing it in real time, which I should have been doing. Uh-oh, NASDAQ actually got below my entry price. That's a win in itself. Whoa, look at that. Oh, no, it didn't. I'm sorry. I thought it was at 84. Yeah, no, still the low tick there on the entry. All right, so that would have been my zone. So what would I have done? I would have taken my long stop that was below this event. This is how I trail my stops. I'm below here. Oops. Got the ATR retest failure. I'm in. Stops here. New event. Bring my stop. ATR below there. Let's see if I got below there. This was only 8 ticks. Let's see what the ATR was, but I'm almost positive that's not a stop out, especially if I wasn't involved. 7:59 my time. Let's see what the ATR was. And we'll put this on and see. All right, about there? 0.0103. What's that? Oh, that was, did I not get filled on one of those? All right, well now I'm definitely filled. Now I'm filled on both. I guess I didn't get filled on the other trade, which makes no sense. It's the same price. Once again, filled to the, to the tick. This is a fun trading day this afternoon. All right, so I'm short both those strategies I just talked about. So anyway, let's put this in 43 to 42. So just going over what I should have done. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, as my grandpa says. 26, 43. 0.0104. So then my stop for that long would have been at 30. Would I have been stopped out? No. No. Gone. There you go. That's why, this is exactly why I put my stop outside of an ATR, because you get the whipsaw of these algos that know nothing's going on and they play games with everybody's orders and money. My stop would have been here, no stop out, 100 tick trade. Then what I would have done is right at the close here, they had, I might have been stopped out now, but it still would have been like a 60 tick trade. They had the stop run right before the close. I would have trailed my stop to that, 94. So this would have been a stop out. So I would have been out probably, I think the ATR was around 10. I would have been on at 84. Still would have been a very nice trade, right? Would have been about a, yeah, it's been about a 60, close to a 60 tick trade, just trailing my stop to the events. So the moral of the story is, you know, I'm on these webinars, I make mistakes nonstop because I'm flipping markets and everything, going back and forth, and I didn't get this alert. Pay attention if more ice comes in right after, especially if it's the same house. I would have the proper zone drawn there, and I want to caught that trade.